In this episode we will share above the type of manatee and also the threats they face. There are three types of manatee: the Amazonian manatee, West Indian manatee and the West African manatee. West Indian manatees prefer warmer temperatures and are known to congregate in shallow waters. They frequently migrate through brackish water estuaries to freshwater springs. They cannot survive below 15 degrees centigrade. Their natural source for warmth during winter is warm, spring-fed rivers. The coast of the state of Georgia is usually the northernmost range of the West Indian manatees because their low metabolic rate does not protect them in cold water. Prolonged exposure to water below 20 degrees centigrade can cause cold stress syndrome and death. Florida manatees can move freely between freshwater and saltwater. In winter, manatees often gather near the warm water outflows of power plants along the Florida coast instead of migrating south as they once did. Some conservationists are concerned that these manatees have become too reliant on these artificially warmed areas. The U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service is trying to find a new way to heat the water for manatees that depend on plants that have closed. The main water treatment plant in Guyana has 4 manatees that keep storage canals clear of weeds. There are also some in the ponds of the national park in Georgetown, Guyana. The Amazonian's hair color is brownish-gray, and it has thick wrinkled skin, often with coarse hair or whiskers. Photos are rare. Although very little is known about this species, scientists think it is similar to West Indian manatee. The freshwater Amazonian manatee inhabits the Amazon River and its tributaries and never ventures into saltwater. West African manatee are found in coastal marine and estuarine habitats and in freshwater river systems along the west coast of Africa, from the Senegal River south to the Kwanza River in Angola. They live as far upriver on the Niger River as Kaoulikoro in Mali, 2,000 kilometers from the coast. In relation to the threat posed by humans, predation does not present a significant threat to manatees. When threatened, the manatee's response is to dive as deeply as it can, suggesting that threats have most frequently come from land dwellers such as humans, rather than from other water-dwelling creatures, such as caimans or sharks. The main causes of death for manatees are human-related issues, such as habitat destruction and human objects. Natural causes of death include adverse temperatures, predation by crocodiles on young, and disease. Their slow-moving, curious nature has led to many violent collisions with propeller-driven boats and ships, leading frequently to maiming, disfigurement, and even death. As a result, a large proportion of manatees exhibit spiral-cutting propeller scars on their backs, usually caused by larger vessels that do not have skegs in front of the propellers like the smaller outboard and inboard-outboard recreational boats have. Often, the lacerations lead to infections, which can prove fatal. Internal injuries stemming from being trapped between hulls and docks and impacts have also been fatal. Recent testing shows that manatees may be able to hear speedboats and other watercraft approaching due to the frequency the boat makes. However, a manatee may not be able to hear the approaching boats when they are performing day-to-day activities or distractions. The manatee has a tested frequency range of 8 kHz to 32 kHz. Manatees hear on a higher frequency than would be expected for such large marine mammals. Many large boats emit very low frequencies, which confuse the manatee and explain their lack of awareness around boats. The Lloyd's mirror effect results in low-frequency propeller sounds not being discernible near the surface, where most accidents occur. Research indicates that when a boat has a higher frequency, the manatees rapidly swim away from danger. Another cause of manatee deaths are red tides, a term used for the proliferation, or blooms, of the microscopic marine algae, Carenia brevis. This dinoflagellate produces brevetoxins that can have toxic effects on the central nervous system of animals. In 1996, a red tide was responsible for 151 manatee deaths. The bloom was present from early March to the end of April and killed approximately 15% of the known population of manatees along South Florida's western coast. Manatees can also be crushed and isolated in water control structures and are occasionally killed by entanglement in fishing gear, such as crab pot float lines, box traps, and shark nets. While humans are allowed to swim with manatees in one area of Florida, there have been numerous charges of people harassing and disturbing the manatees. The manatee population in the United States reached a low in the 1970s, during which only a few hundred individuals lived in the nation. As of February 2016, 6,250 manatees were reported swimming in Florida's springs. It is illegal under federal and Florida law to injure or harm a manatee. The MV Freedom Star and MV Liberty Star, ships used by NASA to tow Space Shuttle solid rocket boosters back to Kennedy Space Center, were propelled only by water jets to protect the endangered Manatee population that inhabits regions of the Banana River where the ships are based. Brazil outlawed hunting in 1973 in an effort to preserve the species. Deaths by boat strikes are still common. If you like what I am doing, please subscribe to the channel and hit the bell. Feel free to drop a comment down below or request on the next sea creature you like to see on this channel.